Good afternoon, everybody. I'll do that again. Hello, everybody. That's a lot better. Sorry for the delay in getting in and the weather, but you're here, and it's great to look out and see our community here to support the Edison project and these incredible entrepreneurs that want to get to the marketplace, and you're going to help them do that. And this is year number 2, and as your chamber president, Danny Hearn, we had an idea a couple of years ago that small business, which is the backbone of the chamber, 85% of our 900 members have 20 or less employees, that something must be done to help business competitiveness, to identify new, creative, new business ideas. There was nowhere for them to go. They had plenty of help, but there was no competition and no way for them to be mentored and talked to and counseled about how do you get your idea to the marketplace. And last year was a great first attempt to bring this to the Catawba County community on behalf of the chamber, and the success has generated year number 2 with 9 finalists that have upgraded our quality of competition, and we have also spread this out to the metro area instead of just Catawba County. So on behalf of the chamber, I appreciate you being here. The chairman of the board is here. Now you give great respect to my chairman of the board, the CEO and president of Fry Regional Medical Center, Michael Blackburn. Please stand up, Michael. Say hello.
Well, you're going to have fun. Last year, when I sat in here, I was going, well, I'm here Auditory Way, I'm from the board, and Danny's thought this thing up, and you know, this is 20. And Bill Parish, and I'm so we're in here, and they're doing the thing, I'm going, whoa, that was pretty good. That next one was pretty good. They got competitive. And then I'm telling you, it was really, really good. You're going to like it, guaranteed it, but it's growing and getting better. And to you, Danny, I'm one of the naysayers. Awesome job, Bill. Great work. I know there's others involved. I won't thank everybody, but thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Michael. We're glad you're here. This takes a team effort. Bill's going to recognize all of our mentors and coaches, but I want to say a special thank you to our sponsors, because it does take a lot of dollars to put this thing on and to be able to provide the prize money. We have all of our sponsors back and then even added an additional sponsor. The presenting sponsors are Alex Lee. Boy George is so impressed with this and wants to help guide new companies into the marketplace, and Alex Lee and Boy George we thank. Catawba County Government. Kitty Barnes is here, the chair of the county commissioners. Tom Lundy bought into this right away. They're all about creating jobs and new business development. So they wanted to be a part of this, and I'm just so in awe of the fact that local government wanted to help with this, and we appreciate it. Our other sponsors are CenturyLink, Pat Hatley. I don't think Pat is here, but we thank Pat. Catawba Valley Community College, Dr. Garrett Henshaw could not be here tonight. The Committee of 100, the Catawba County Economic Development Corporation, Scott Millard and Nathan Hewitt is here. Nathan, where are you, buddy? Thank you very much, my friend. And our new sponsor. The winner last year was David Washko, GoPriceDrive.com. And before we started marketing and promoting the second year, David came to the chamber and said, Danny, I can't tell you what this Edison project in the first year taught me and what I didn't know, and what it meant to me to go through this process and be able to position me in my company to better access my customers and be able to put together a business plan that I can count on, that I'm assured that I've done the best I can do. And the Edison project was able to do that. David gave a sponsorship investment to the Edison project as last year's winner. And that's quite a wonderful thing for last year's winner to do, and didn't have to do that. My friend, I appreciate you very much. Thank you. To all of our sponsors. Now, this Edison team needs a leader, and Bill Parrish from the Small Business Technology and Development Center, the director there, has led this for the last 2 years, and he'll talk to you about his other team. The hours I can't even begin to understand, and to so appreciate what he and his staff have done and these mentors. You got to see Bill in action over the last many, many years that we've worked together, to see him in what he does and how he helps small business. And we're trying to incorporate a lot of that into a new membership formula for our chamber for next year. And he might want to talk to you about that later on in the program. But I just can't tell you enough about the dynamics of his leadership in coordinating all of this, because this is 6 months worth of work and he's been at the helm. And on behalf of the chamber, we thank you, my friend, and would you show your appreciation to Bill Parrish for the SPP.
Wow. Danny almost made me cry with that introduction, but I'll try to maintain my composure. It's great to see you out here today on this rainy day. And it's great to see so many faces that were here last year as well. Before I begin comments, I'd like to offer a special thanks to Danny Hearn, whose leadership and vision led to the Edison project. I am just fortunate to be able to be a part of it, and I'm grateful for that, but also for making this vision of showcasing and profiling entrepreneurs from our region is so important. And for our chamber and our county and the sponsors, and now the 4-county region, to stand up for the entrepreneurs, and they amaze me every year. I get to work with them day in and day out, and I'm blessed with that, and I don't take that for granted. But to see the ones come forth, like David Washko was here from last year, our champion, and what an ambassador he is in carrying the mantle of both entrepreneurship and this program, but also of his own family. It's a blessing. Biologist Charles Darwin said many years ago, "It is not the strongest of a species that survives, nor is it the most intelligent, but rather it is the most adaptive to change." That holds true for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and for the communities. Business owners compete every day, day in and day out. They have to in order to survive. Nathan Hewitt will tell you communities also compete day in and day out for those businesses and the entrepreneurs that drive them. This competition was the first of its kind in Catawba County. It was developed last year to highlight the importance of entrepreneurship and small business ownership to this community, but more importantly, to identify those promising, innovative ideas that are out there, around the corners, up and down the main street, and out in the countryside, and to demonstrate how they can thrive with the support of a network of business mentors and the commitment of the community standing behind them. And they will survive and they will thrive. We have some great examples from last year's competition proving just that. The Edison project was such a great success last year in Catawba County that, as Danny mentioned, it was expanded into what sometimes is referred to as the Unifor region. By any name, it's a very powerful region of North Carolina. It has had its challenges, it still does. But entrepreneurs and small business owners are rising to the occasion to address those challenges. The entrepreneurs being recognized today have risen to the top in that process. They submitted an executive summary describing their concept and how they intended to address the marketplace, enter that marketplace, and make money along the way. They submitted their executive summary to a panel of business consultants and experts, and on the basis of those executive summaries, the best were chosen and entered into this competition, this showcase, the Edison project. The next step in that process was for those finalists to present their concept and plans as well as a description of how the venture would make money, how it could compete and survive and thrive. Each finalist was allowed 15 minutes for a PowerPoint presentation, and that was to a panel of experts that included commercial lenders, investors, fund managers, mergers and acquisition specialists, and a business consultant, a marketing business consultant. Then the panel, after the presentations, asked each of the entrepreneurs tough questions. Now, if you've never done that, and most of you probably haven't, you can't imagine how tough and how challenging that is. But I can tell you, because I was there, they all performed in a stellar fashion. They were impressive. You'll see that tonight. They also participated in a series of workshops addressing marketing, human resources, capital formation, operations, strategy formulation. And they prepared their written business plan, which described how they would compete. It described the resources that they would need, both capital and human resources, and more importantly, how they will make money. Throughout this process, each entrepreneur had a business mentor or coach. And you're going to meet those mentors and coaches tonight. They advise them along the way, and in fact, after this competition concludes tonight, they will still be connected to their entrepreneur, in fact, to the entire network of entrepreneurs. There were some other resources that they tapped into, many of them probably, not the least of which are community colleges and universities. But the Small Business and Technology Development Center that Danny mentioned, which is a university-based business resource, and also the Small Business Center at Catawba Valley Community College. And I think Jeff, I haven't seen Jeff, but I think he's one of the mentors. He's over here. You'll meet him later tonight. And that panel of judges evaluated the strength and quality of those business plans and described a ranking to those based on the assumptions, the quality of the planning, the strength of the articulation of the strategies, and their knowledge and understanding of the competitive marketplace. So we come here today, and you, the audience, are playing the next important role in this process. You are going to help us identify which of these ventures, and they're all very promising, but your challenge is tougher than what most of us have. You have to pick one. And the entrepreneur challenge is more difficult too, because they don't have 15 minutes to describe their venture idea. They have 5. That's a lot more difficult. As Mark Twain said, I would have written a shorter letter, but I didn't have time to capture the essence of a business venture or an idea succinctly enough in 5 minutes, but expansively enough that the listener understands what it's all about is tough. Now, each of you has a ballot. I hope that you do. If you do not have a ballot in your hand, raise your hand and we'll get one to you. After the final presentation, after the 9th presentation, we are asking you to pick the one, the most outstanding, most exciting, most viable, sustainable enterprise. And choose that one. During the break, and at the break, you're going to have a chance to network with all of these entrepreneurs and hear more about their businesses, more about their idea and their needs, as well as the mentor teams. And those votes that you turn in will be tabulated. And when we return, we will be recognizing the top 3 of the Edison project for 2012. So let's get started with the presentations. But before we do, I would like to, and I'm going to ask them to come up on the stage a little bit later on, but I want to recognize each of these business coach mentors that have been involved in this program. I would also like to say many of them are back from last year. This is their 2nd year. The time that they put into this, volunteer time, is astounding. Danny made reference to it. Not only the time that they put in, but the extent to which they go to serve that business owner, that entrepreneur. And I've seen the work that they've done. I see the benefit to the entrepreneur of that relationship, and I'm very thankful for it. So if you would, as I call your name, just stand up so that we can recognize you, and hold your applause until the end if you would. Gary Muller. Gary is with CVCC. He's back in the back here. He's the Business Program Department Head. Thank you, Gary. Tony Mifsud. Tony's back here. Tony is also with CVCC, and he is the Director of Business Development. We have Jeff Newell with us, back here in the back. He's the Director of the Small Business Center at CVCC. So you can see that your local community college is very engaged in this project. Kevin McConaughey is the Assistant Regional Director of the SBTDC. He's up on campus at Appalachian State University. Byron Hicks, where is he? He's back there in the back. He's an SBTDC business counselor here in the Hickory area. Tom Shecht, down here toward the front. Tom has his own consulting company, ITWX. Is back for a second year. Michelle Elwanger. She's over here on the right. She's the prettiest of these mentors this year. And she is the owner of Edge Consulting. Gene Rowland is over here on the right. He's a retired entrepreneur, had a career in truck sales, and at one time sold more trucks than anyone else east of the Mississippi. Knows a thing or two about business. And Wayne Swafford is here in the middle. Wayne is the owner of Action Coach. Thank you, Wayne. Now, any questions before we get started on the voting process? Okay, we're going to call up our first. Oh, we'll bring them up for this. Okay, my father here, Danny Herman, has reminded me that we are first going to give, before the presentation, we're going to recognize with a certificate of accomplishment to each of the entrepreneurs. And if I could get all of the mentors to come up on stage here, just line up across the stage, and then they will welcome each of these entrepreneurs. And if I could get Commissioner Barnes on the stage to make the presentations, I would greatly appreciate it. She does so much better with presentations than I do. She's much more experienced than I. And I will share with you it says the Catawba County Chamber of Commerce proudly recognizes Jeff and Tina Stewart Java Journey as one of the best new business ideas for Catawba County in 2012. And then it has presented at the second annual Edison Project Entrepreneurial Awards ceremony of today's day with the sponsors here as well. So where's my commissioner? And these are in the order. And if you'll just come up and stay on the stage as you receive your recognition, and Mr. Appleson of Appleson Studios will get some good photos of it.
We'll begin with Jeff and Tina Stewart, Java Journey. Please come forward.
Thank you. If we could just give a hand and recognition. Today it's on the stage in Hickory, North Carolina. Tomorrow, Business Week and Wall Street Journal. Thank you. Okay, Danny, can I go to the presentations now? Okay, now before we start our first presentation, let me remind you, they have 5 minutes That's not 5 minutes and 10 seconds. It's 5 minutes or less. We have the bouncer or the enforcer or the timekeeper on this front row, and she will raise her hand as a signal to the entrepreneurs when you have 30 seconds left. Okay? So without further ado, let's call our first entrepreneur, Jeff and Tina Stewart of Java Journey. And this entrepreneur is from right here representing Catawba County. These entrepreneurs.
Hi, I'm Tina, and this is Jeff, and we are the Stewarts, and we are with Java Journey Coffee Shop Ministry in Hickory. It's a nonprofit 501c3 at 2149 North Center Street. We have enough room for a medium-sized roaster, and we need a roaster.
We've been helping Hickory area people with life transformation through our faith-based work for 3 years now. We also make a wonderful, great tasting cup of coffee. As a nonprofit, we rely on donations and contributions and coffee sales. Because of our innovative approach to ministry, many are increasingly catching on with our vision where we provide hope and restoration to the hurting and broken by following Christian principles, by showing love and empowering the restored to provide for themselves and to serve others. And that is why our donations in 1 year went up 400%. In one year, people are catching on. Our ongoing objective is to discern where we need to focus our attention and energy. And currently, we see 3 areas. We believe we can deal with these 3 areas in a very creative manner by the addition of a roaster. First of all, unemployment. We noticed that when we first moved here. We are very high in this area. The national average is about 8%. You can see where North Carolina is, and the Unifor area is way up there. The second issue is the cost of fresh roasted coffee for us. It represented 11% of our total expenses to get fresh roasted coffee. The third issue with a positive slant is that there's an ever-increasing demand for especially gourmet roasted coffee. The addition of a roaster will address and create solutions that will lead to opportunities for these 3 problems. First and foremost, we can help the unemployed. We already have done that in the 3 years that we've been in existence. But we want to maintain the existing networks we have now and to establish new networks through the Veterans Administration, through the Oxford House, through various churches, for the sake of referrals, of potential hiring. And together we will develop an effective training program and teach individuals job skills. It will increase their self-worth, and most importantly, it's going to pay them much needed income. Secondly, an in-house roaster will significantly reduce our operational expenses. We discovered something. We sold coffee to the YMCA at cost. We worked something out with them, and we sold our beans to them, and we found out that we had a 35% return on what we paid for the beans ourselves. So we thought, well, we imagine if we roasted our own coffee, and we had 5 more customers, hypothetically, we would subtract an expense and add an income. And we discovered, just hypothetically, by 5 more customers, it would be $8,000 well over what we paid for 1 year. And so what we had in 2011 would disappear, our loss would disappear, and would become a profit. We would be able to help and create a payroll with that and be more benevolent in our efforts. Thirdly, adding the capability of roasting our own coffee to our existing location would allow us to be the only Hickory-based store that serves fresh, tasty, in-house roasted coffee. Just sniff, you can smell that. It may be me because I was at the coffee shop. But that is something we don't have within a 75-mile radius or almost 100-mile radius, a local roaster. A good medium-sized roaster costs about $24,000. Other expenses would make it about $55,000 total. We have talked with roasters in California, Colorado, and Tennessee before we even moved here, and we have found out that with a graduated increase in bulk coffee bean sales, the roaster would be paid for in 2 to 4 years.
We're excited about what a roaster will do for Hickory. It will bolster what we do and add something very exquisite to Hickory, something that Hickory does not currently have. We sincerely believe that this overall goal is worthy of wide-scale partnership. We would truly be grateful for your consideration in what we desire to do and accomplish for this area.
Thank you.
Would you please raise your hand if you can smell the coffee now? You may be smelling something else with the next presentation. I've been there and I have, and it's fabulous. If we could get Sarah, come forward, Sarah Ward of Millstone Bakehouse and Provisions, and her trusty assistant, Mark.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Ward, and together my husband Mark and I own Millstone Meadows Farm and Millstone Bakehouse and Provisions. We're located in the foothills of Morganton, North Carolina. On our farm we raise chickens, lamb, vegetables, and we have over 1,300 varieties of daylilies. But first and foremost, I am a chef. I am a farmer, and now I'm an artisanal baker. After many years of cooking across the country, I began witnessing a movement of local raised and artisanal foods. Farmers were collaborating with chefs, and chefs were designing their menus around local foods and products. This was very exciting for me. After buying the farm 8 years ago, I wanted to share this movement with our community. We began hosting farm weddings and farm-to-fork dinners, and were thrilled when Our State magazine contacted us to feature an article on our farm last year. This article gave us statewide recognition and a very successful dinner series, with guests coming from as far as the coast to enjoy our dinners. My handcrafted breads are a truly multi-sensory experience. Take a look. There's an intoxicating smell, come on, I know you smell it, an appearance and a taste of a handcrafted loaf of bread. And I make over 20 varieties, which is growing us our local customer base. So where can you get this bread? Not here. These are all large chain operations, with the exception of Nova and Charlotte, and they're all operating on a mass production level. You can get my bread at the downtown Hickory's Farmers Market, and I sure hope that you all have attended your market this year. Each year there has been over a 10% growth in farmers markets across the USA since 1994, with nearly 200 active markets in North Carolina alone. The NCDA has recently initiated a campaign for Got to Be NC Grown with billboards and ads across the state. By looking at our farmer market attendance and sales, we estimate that up to 20% of our buying public will purchase our products. This clientele is educated and food conscious. This number is growing and expanding as awareness increases. We will achieve this growth by developing 3 specific markets. Number 1, our farmers markets, which we have already developed in Hickory and in the Davidson area and are looking at other markets to be involved with. Number 2 is our retail outlets. We have joined forces with Williams-Sonoma in a nationwide promotion of local artisan products being featured at their stores to bring more awareness to local products in their communities. We are already partnering with the Crushed Olive here in Hickory, selling a variety of breads, and we're also reaching out to other retail outlets in the area. Number 3 is restaurants. We have just recently started delivering our breads to the Roasted Tater here in Hickory, and we've delivered breads to USUS for special occasions. What's our edge? Our edge is that I'm an experienced and well-traveled professional chef. We uniquely blend gourmet products with locally sourced ingredients. We use all locally grown and/or milled organic flours, and we do small batch production. Our current farmers market sales at Hickory and Davidson have grown to $8,000 to $9,000 a month. And with the addition of Williams-Sonoma and Crushed Olive and other retail outlets, we intend to double our sales this year. Our small, efficient team, my wonderful husband, who by the way has a full-time job at E.J. Victor as VP of Manufacturing, and my assistant chef, Kevin Summers, we hope to add 2 more additional employees, a delivery vehicle, upgrade our kitchen facility, and we're currently focusing on a packaged, scalable bread baking kit for Williams-Sonoma and other potential outlets. We are presenting this kit this weekend at the Williams-Sonoma store in Burkdale Village on their monthly Artisan Day. We expect our multiple product plans to expand our sales growth. In summary, we are expanding an already successful farmers market business into retail sales, and we are already selling other popular frozen entrees featuring our local source meat, vegetables, and entrees with other products in the works. We believe that our business is not a trend, but a movement. We thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today, and you can give me a great gift today by voting for me on my 50th birthday.
I would lead us all in happy birthday, but Sarah would behead me. Thank you, Sarah. And Mark, I didn't know that you knew how to push one button repeatedly like that, and I'm quite impressed. It's that engineering background. How many of you know what a salmagundi is? Raise your hand if you would, if you know. You're about to find out, and let me tell you that above all, it is colorful. I'd like to invite from Catawba County, Jill Towery, to the stage to tell us about salmagundi.
I'm Jill Towery. My company is Salmagundi, and we design and manufacture distinctly different furniture for the home accents market. The unique thing about our business is that we use samples, scraps, and short ends. All of the things the local furniture companies throw out, those are our materials that we use to create our unique USA-made unique furniture pieces. We upcycle everything that we do. Consumers today desire individuality. They don't care so much anymore about copying the pages out of a magazine to put in their home or looking like their neighbor. They really want to express themselves. Secondly, retailers are looking for those truly unique and individual pieces to put in their store that's going to bring the customer in and drive the customer to their website. The great thing about this kind of a product is that there's very little price comparison, so therefore the margins tend to be much higher. Also, they're most of the time an impulse buy. Salmagundi is truly a niche product, and that is where we intend to stay. Just to give you a little bit of history, we started our business in 2007 making handbags. And what we did was we were using the fabric samples that the fabric reps were throwing away at the end of a season. And we took these pieces and combined them into reversible handbags. And these were sold in specialty boutiques in North and South Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, and Missouri. After that, we decided to go ahead and apply this same technique. We had so much of this fabric, we decided to apply the same technique to furniture pieces. And when I say furniture pieces, it was salvage furniture pieces, things from Goodwill and Salvation Army. And then what happened with this is that resulted in a 1.5 years of custom reupholstering. And what we heard from our clients over and over again was that you can't buy this stuff. Wanted to see if we had a business opportunity here, so took it one step further, and the upholsterer and I went ahead and made up a collection of furniture, again, using salvaged furniture pieces, all of these scraps and short ends, and went ahead and took a collection down to the High Point Furniture Market. The feedback that we got was overwhelming. We sold out. The one-ofs was very successful. People liked that, but not only that, they wanted to know, well, could you do something that's more than one of a kind? Which led us to developing our Salmagundi Tuffet. And this is a small ottoman that is ours from frame to finish that we do in 2 different sizes. And this is what our product line looks like today. You can't smell anything, but hopefully it's a visual treat. The reason that we wanted to come into this Edison project, we have different areas that we really want to focus on over the next 12 to 18 months. And first of all is really establishing our brand. We do have a unique look. We want to keep that our signature look with our upcycled materials. Secondly, we want to go ahead and deepen our distribution network. Right now, we're already partnered with Wayfair, which is the largest home furnishings company online. We participate in their flash sales, but we want to go ahead and deepen that even further with other companies that already have the established online customer base, as well as your bricks and mortar home accident and gift stores. And finally, the last piece is, which is very critical for us at this point, is website development. We are extremely difficult to find online. We want to employ search engine optimization, put on a shopping cart. Right now, you can't even buy our stuff anywhere. So we're going to put a shopping cart online. And the final piece of the puzzle, the custom has really led us to this. We're developing a software by which an individual can go online, pick and choose their fabrics, create their own piece, of which we will design, manufacture, and ship to them. And that, my friends, is Salmagundi. I hope you add some color to your day. Thank you.
You know, I honestly think if I were having a bad day, I don't have many, but I think if I were having a bad day, if I could sit on a Salmagundi chair or tuffet, it would certainly brighten it up. I'm convinced of it. Our next entrepreneur is in the technology and marketing and advertising game. And I would like to invite from, and this is our only contestant from Caldwell County, I'd like to get Andrew, or Drew, as his friends call it, Herod, to the stage to tell us about Flip Frame Media.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Herron and I am the owner of Flip Frame Media. I built my media company for one main reason. I believe that most advertising mediums, especially the ones that are even halfway effective, are too expensive. Now when I say too expensive, I do not mean that they are not affordable for larger corporations who can afford to spend millions on advertising, or that they don't work at all. I mean to say that they are simply too expensive for small businesses. Most small businesses have no means to advertise whatsoever, with a little or non-existent advertising budget. According to the SBA, small businesses, just like the ones you've seen here tonight, represent 99.7% of all businesses in America. Advertising is crucial for these small businesses to grow and develop. That is why I spent the last 3 years developing a medium that would not only be affordable for small businesses, but would also be effective as well. In order to do this, my company needed to achieve 3 main objectives. Captivation. My company's ad designs had to look as good or even better than designs that any other graphic design company could produce. I believe that graphic design is art and needs to be visually stimulating. I solved this objective by not only knowing about graphic design myself, but by also subcontracting an award-winning graphic designer named Paul Duffy, owner of Pseudosonic Studios. Between the two of us, we are able to achieve and even exceed our clients' expectations for ad design. Progression. In order to properly display graphic designs, a company needs to use relevant technology. Yet a big consideration I had to face was that the more advanced technology I used, the more I would have to charge my clients. I found a middle ground. I decided to use 15-inch high-definition LCD monitors. They are the most cost-efficient and work well in the location my company displays them at. Best of all, they are capable of displaying high-resolution graphics. Connection. I decided the best way to display my monitors were at businesses where people had to wait in a waiting area or had to wait in a line. This gives my business two advantages because most of these people have nothing else to look at, and it also means that each potential view will be longer. Also, I had to develop agreements with these locations by designing ads for them and displaying their ads in non-competitive businesses as well. This also makes my advertising more affordable. During the past 3 years, I have test marketed my idea at 13 unique locations. These locations included various Verizon Wireless locations throughout Burke and Catawba counties. These monitors were displayed in the bill pay area. Mayflower Seafood in Lenore, Captain's Galley in Granite Falls, and FlipFrame's most popular location during the test market, Fats Cafe, where I had 2 monitors, one in the waiting area, and also I had one in the to-go area. As I mentioned before, I wanted to make my advertising affordable to any small business. I have had quite a variety to pay FlipFrame Media to display their ads during the test market. I've had a handyman service, hair salons, a golf club retailer, a jewelry store, a funeral home, a consignment store, and an amazing painting service called Jeff Moore Painting. This is just a selection of the test market. Over 40 plus local small businesses paid FlipFrame Media for advertising during those 3 years, all with positive results. This graph displays the cost of most of the advertising mediums in the area. I collected this information from a study I did with the Outdoor Advertising Association of America. I also used the results I received from my test market and plugged FlipFrame Media onto the graph as well. What the graph shows is how much each client pays that particular medium for every 1,000 potential ad views. As you can see, FlipFrame Media is offered to enable its advertising at a fraction of the cost of the other mediums, at only $2 per 1,000 potential ad views. That's 10 potential ad views for a penny. Not only is FlipFrame Media inexpensive, but as it grows, it is becoming more target market specific. After realizing that FlipFrame Media could achieve all its goals, I've developed a 10-phase expansion plan. During this, I have worked out agreements with 5 major hotels located right here in Hickory. These include Best Western, Motel 6, Gateway Hotel, Holiday Inn Express, and Quality Inn and Suites. Restaurants such as Bistro 127 can advertise at these locations. By the way, mention this ad and receive a free appetizer up to a $5 value with the purchase of 2 entrees. My company is growing. My company has achieved its objectives. Soon companies will be able to advertise at over 200 locations throughout the area with plans that start out for as little as $50 a month while still receiving effective advertising. FlipFrame Media, captivation, progression, and connection. Thank you.
Have you ever seen an advertising specialist that didn't want to use every last second? Thank you very much, Drew. Some of you are going to be taking a shower sometime in the next week. Our next presenter is going to share with you something that could make that a more enjoyable experience. But before you get too far out there, hold on. David Scalise, founder and CEO of Tileware Products. He had no idea I was going to set him up like that. He'll have to correct all that mess now.
Hello, my name is David Scalise, and my partner and I, Mike Fidel, would like to introduce to you Tileware Products. We're focused on the U.S. bath accessories market, principally shower organization and assist products. unique about our marketing is we're focused on 5 million tile showers that are produced with thin-set mortar. And we're influencing that market with this fastener. This is a mortar-based technology that mounts accessories to it. The fastener is a composition stainless steel component manufactured in the great state of North Carolina. And we couple that fastener with trim. Trim is essentially the accessory component, and all the trim components are solid brass, so they don't rust in your shower. And they're manufactured in Shenzhen, China. We couple these 7 baskets together into kits for personal organization solutions. We package 7 models in 3 finishes, and right now we're representing 21 basket kits. Essentially, the fastener and the trim are packaged in one box in our factory. The system has been tested. It holds 1,175 pounds. We have a U.S. patent, and we have filed under patent provisions the Patent Cooperative Treaty and 4 other world markets. We intend on dominating the world with this strategy. The problem is no professional ownership of accessories exists in the marketplace. Pretty much consumers own the failure. And with no real solution, we saw a huge opportunity to influence 5 million showers annually that are built every year in tile applications. So basically, you integrate our product, finish the install. After grouting, simply hang the ferrules, attach the basket, and in 5 minutes or less, a tile professional will install our product and create a shower organization solution. Shower organization is the meaning and what's going to drive consumers to our product. We have a fantastic market opportunity. The market's about 600 million currently. But the market is really underserved because there's no one really owning accessory sales and installation. So we sense that the market is really closer to $1 billion. We're going after that market. We have a strategy to get 3% market share by focusing on 144,000 shower installs annually. Our goal is to achieve that in 5 years. And we're channeling this opportunity through 2-step distribution, basically selling distributors who sell dealers and contractors who sell retailers or consumers. We have about 36,000 storefronts nationally that we're going after. And to create the scale that we need about 9,000 display positions in the marketplace. We need to train about 6,000 of these dealers in our sales agenda. And it looks like this, selling baskets, grabs, and seats. We are looking at about $28.8 million annually in 5 years. These are real numbers. Our 19-month performance so far, basically we've positioned about 2,246 displays in the marketplace. We sold about 6,200 basket kits. We've had 2 failures. And we've generated about $400K in revenue, just a little over $400K in revenue. We're excited about it because with the investment money we're looking at generating a bunch of new business, and we need some capital. We need capital support for that. We need about $300,000 for new product development, about $335,000 for human capital, $45,000 for systems, and for marketing and additional working capital, a grand total about $1 million. We're so excited about this potential because every year 5 million showers are built. And we represent the only integrated solution that exists in the world. It's really blue water. And the potential has patentability. We already have a U.S. patent. We have world markets that we're working on. We're so excited about you sharing and talking with us. And we're excited that we're a North Carolina company. And so with that, I say thank you.
We're trying to work with David on developing some enthusiasm. Thank you, David. I'd like to call back to the stage the family, the Gilbert family, and have them to talk to us about what Cecil's Kitchen is and what it will do for this community and for other entrepreneurs.
Hello, my name is Michael Gilbert. This is my brother Brian and my mother Barbara. We're going to talk to you about Cecil's Kitchen. What is Cecil's Kitchen? Cecil's Kitchen will be a culinary incubator. And what that is a commercial kitchen that meets local and state health requirements that will be available on a rental basis. We use the term incubator because it will help other small culinary entrepreneurs nurture and grow their business. What we have noticed is that there is a gap between starting a small business in your home and opening your own retail space. And Cecil's Kitchen would like to bridge that gap. It will be available to caterers, bakers, and other culinary entrepreneurs. They will be able to work out of it on a rental basis to help build capital until they're able to afford their own retail location. It will also be available to food trucks and mobile vendors. They'll be able to prep and work out of, and they will be able to use it as their commissary kitchen, which is required for them to have. Farmers will be able to use it to help get connected with local restaurants and businesses to help get their products into the community. Gardeners can use it to prepare any overstock that they may have if their kitchen at home is not sufficient enough to do so. And everyone in the community will be able to use it because you can come in and prepare food gifts for family and friends, such as jams, jellies, cookies, pies, other baked goods for different occasions throughout the year. It will also be used for educational classes that are open to the community. And we will set up a storefront that our customers can have their products in that the community can come in and purchase. And it'll be a way to support small business in the community. Some of the uses, as I mentioned before, we will have the kitchen available on an hourly rental basis. We will also use it for marketing and networking to help get the small businesses' names out there. And we will make it a community center for networking through Facebook and our personal website, along with helping the small businesses get their own business cards and get connected with local agencies in the area. We do have a media consultant in place to help us with some of these things, and we will just use it to help connect the entrepreneurs with the local businesses to get their products into the community. We will also use it for educational classes. This can be to help better educate aspiring cooks in the area, and we will do classes on anything from simple how-to classes to possible ServSafe certifications. And as I mentioned, we will also be doing a storefront, and this will be to sell our customers' products and get them into the community and really get the community to know who they are. We will also use it as a local processing center. We will do this by connecting the farmers with the restaurants to help get local food into the restaurants. And this will make local food more readily available in the area. And it'll also promote local food to the community. Now, the Farm and Food Sustainability Plan Committee for Catawba County overwhelmingly supports our plan for a kitchen, along with the education and outreach components. And we ask for your support as well, and we thank you for your time.
I saw him look back there in Commissioner Barnes' direction when he mentioned that he needed some county assistance as well. Great job.
Do you see why I love my job? I get to work with these folks every day. That's inspirational. Next, I'd like to ask my colleague James Tate to come up and share a very innovative approach to fastening and securing. Name of the company, and he's the founder, one of the founders is Tension Technologies.
My name is James Tate. I'm a structural engineer with 15 years of experience, and I'm licensed in 14 states. And myself and my partner have founded Tension Technologies. And what we have developed is an indicating lock washer. Everybody knows what a lock washer is, a spring-load washer. This is a calibrated version of that. It is also a direct tension indicator. And what that is an ability to tighten a bolt and actually know how tight it is. It eliminates torque wrenches. It eliminates ripping heads off of a bolt. And we'll get into that more in a minute. Our washer actually has a patent. We've actually already finished that. We worked with Womble and Carlisle out of Winston-Salem, and we developed our patent this year. And then we're looking at 3 sectors to market our washer to. That's the industrial, the retail, and the construction sectors. Now, the construction sector already has 3 main companies that make a similar technology. It's an older version. We took it, we improved upon it, and we changed it. The retail sector actually is a little bit hard because you're going to have a lot of consumer education you have to have. But the industrial sector does not have any actual competition except for the existing way of doing business. Our business stage is that we're finishing up research and development, and so far we've met all of our milestones, dates, and goals. Now, the problem in industry. You have slow quality control procedures. Basically, you either have to retorque a bolt, you have to work with it, you have to deal with it. Our version is visual. The installer and or inspector looks at it. If the washer's in the correct position, the bolt is tight. Inaccurate torque measurement causes friction losses. Damage to the base and bolting materials. If you don't tighten it tight enough, or you tighten something too tight, you can damage the materials. Potential safety issues. Imagine if a bolt's not tight enough on a piece of industrial equipment and it comes loose, or you wring the head off the bolt because you made it too tight. And the last thing is multiple washers per bolt. If you use a direct tension indicator, typically you have 3 pieces of material, a flat washer, a lock washer, and a direct tension indicator. We eliminate all 3 of those and combine them into one. Our market opportunity. The washer market in North America is $364 million. The industrial washer market is approximately $254 million of that. We expect, based on our competition's work in the construction sector, a 5.25% market share, which is about $13.4 million in revenue. And after that's established, we can expand into the other sectors. Our benefits: simple visual installation and inspection. It gives you a fast and accurate process for installation. Custom calibrated measurement. If business A over here needs one size washer, business B over here needs another size washer, we can accommodate that, which our competition cannot. And lastly, 2 or 3 pieces combined into one, which basically cuts the washer assembly by about half. Our competition, as we stated earlier, is what people do already. Do you use a torque wrench? You don't check it off. That is our competition. We do have direct competition, but it's in the wrong sector. It's actually in construction. It's not in industrial. And those 3 companies are Applied Bolting Technology, Turnassure, and Fast Forward. And they have a lot of success in construction, and so we think we can take that success and bring it to the industry. Our competitive advantage relative to the indirect competition is 1, quality control, and 2, bottom line price and bottom line savings. And the last part is the customization we bring to the industry. Our projections. We obviously have a net income that is in the negatives for the next few years, and eventually by year 7, we're looking at a gross margin of around $5.9 million, and this is based on a 5.25% market. And that is the end of it. And I want to thank y'all for doing it, and we really think Hinchley.
Folks, it's easy to imagine me getting excited about some baked bread or coffee, but washers? Never thought I'd get excited about that until I met James and learned about what he's doing at Attention Technologies. Our next presenter is another Burke County representative. I've seen her in action in her plant, and I've seen her describing in front of an audience what she does and why she does it and how she does it. It's pretty exciting. I'd like to invite Molly Hemstreet, founder, CEO of Opportunity Threads. You can see she's presenting for two.
I'm Molly Hemstreet, and I appreciate being part of the Edison project. I'm also a proud member and one of the founders of Opportunity Threads. So what is Opportunity Threads? We are a worker-owned cut and sew textile plant. We're based in Morganton, and we focus on sustainable production. We're also a social enterprise. And basically, a social enterprise takes a business concept and looks to solve a human or an environmental problem. So what we're looking for to do in Burke County is to not only provide jobs, but also to provide long-term assets and wealth for the worker owners of our business. So instead of creating a product, what we're really putting forth is a process to help entrepreneurs get started. And currently we're the only cut and sew plant that can handle small to mid-sized production that's organized this way in the United States. Here's a picture of our plant. We have 9 full-time workers currently. Every year we work with between 20 to 25 entrepreneurs to get them started with their cut and sew products, and we just added the other 1,000 square feet on the other side of that wall. So we're a little less cramped. We have 4 components to our business model that I'd like to tell you about. We work with prototyping and sampling for startup cut and sew entrepreneurs. We do a lot of upcycling. You've been hearing that word, helping people that are green entrepreneurs get their products to market. This is a company that we work with out of Boston that upcycles t-shirts. They take old t-shirts and sew them into new products. What we hope to do with our second piece of our business model is to take those entrepreneurs that are getting started and do small-scale production for them. And then what we'd like to do is help those grow into larger scale production. This is a company we work with, a sustainable toy company out of New York that we work with. And this is also one of the largest fair trade collegiate clothing companies called Sustain You that we've just started a contract with as well. And if we're not sewing for someone else, then we always want to be sewing for ourselves. So we've also developed our own line of organic, all North Carolina sourced and made t-shirts that look great on your friends. It's a nice fit. We can also handle the printing as well. So it's important for us to ask, particularly in the context of where we are and where we're living, why textiles? We know that this has been a really, left our community often without work, without jobs, without factories. Does anybody recognize what this picture is? It's our Olympic team. And what was the story with the clothing there? It was all made in China. And Dan St. Louis, who was sitting here, right here, told me this week, had he been given an hour, he could have sourced this all within North and South Carolina. Is that right, Dan? That's right. Give you a day. So what this tells us is that there's consumer consciousness, just like we see with the bread and the sofas. People are asking, where are their products made? And we feel like that's a really important trend to look for. And then also we see that companies are reshoring. They're reshoring because of the consumer consciousness, because they're being pushed to reshore. They're also reshoring because of increased labor costs overseas and increased costs such as fuel. And also people want more close proximity to the market. So we feel like this is a good time to actually be in production. What does this tell us? What is the opportunity that we can capture here? Is to produce higher end, higher margin products that we can be flexible and creative with our production, that we need to produce timely production. We can, instead of having maybe a 9-month time for people, if they were sourcing overseas, we can do it within weeks. And that we need to focus on domestic and a sustainable market. And this is one of the really beautiful products that we're currently creating from home. We see 3 pieces of impact for our business. There's an economic impact, social impact, and also environmental impact. For economic impact, we're creating not only jobs for the folks that we work with, but we're also creating long-term assets through worker ownership. In terms of social impact, we're creating leadership skills for both the entrepreneurs that we work with and the workers that we work with. And then in terms of environmental impact, we use a very close supply chain, and we also support mostly green entrepreneurs. And we also can recycle everything that comes out of our plants, so we're almost a zero waste facility. This is a statement from one of our other co-founders. She said, "We are proud that Opportunity Threads is up and running, that we're always able to help more people who need work, because that's what work is about, serving the community." So we want to be good at what we do, which is providing cut and sew, and we also want to know that our community, that the clients that we're working with have a second purpose, which is to create work and vision for the community. So what we're asking for is funds and support, patient capital, contracts, and ultimately we hope to be the next new generation of textile production in North Carolina. Thank you.
I'm amazed when I see a company like this. It's a social enterprise, but it's a for-profit, and it's also spreading ownership of the enterprise. So that's in part the triple bottom line, and doing so in an environmentally conscious way. So thank you, Mom. And last but absolutely certainly not least, representing Alexander County, Jonathan Williams of Delightfully Daisy. As he's coming forward, I'd like you to raise your hand if you have a dog. You'll be interested in this story. And some, I saw 2 hands go up. Jonathan.
My name is Jonathan Williams, and I'm here to talk a little bit about my entrepreneurial venture called Delightfully Daisy. So when I was 13 years old, it was Easter time, and my mother was getting ready to bring out the eggs and all the food colorings to start dyeing Easter eggs. And as a 13-year-old, I was like, you know what? This is not cool anymore. I'm too old for this, and it's time for me to do something different. So as a 13-year-old, I was, pushing back a little bit, but I decided that instead of dyeing Easter eggs, I was going to make cookies. So I don't really know how that equated as being cooler, but at the time it did. And so for Delightfully Daisy to start, I started making cookies for all the family. And so I made human cookies to give out after Easter dinner. But I also made dog treats. So everyone loved the human cookies that I gave them. But when they got home, they said, you know what, my dog really, really liked those treats that you made. You really got something here, so why don't you kind of run with it? And so I did. I ran with it, and that's where Delightfully Daisy started. So where did the inspiration and kind of the drive for doing this come from? It came from my Shetland sheepdog, Daisy, who she's been with me throughout as I've been growing up. Unfortunately, Daisy passed away a couple months ago, but it's given me a unique perspective to kind of step back and ask myself, well, why do I do the work that I do with Delightfully Daisy? And Delightfully Daisy products helped me to facilitate the happy times with Daisy. Delightfully Daisy bridges that connection between the owner and their dog, and Delightfully Daisy creates fun between the owner and their four-legged friend. So at Delightfully Daisy, we're all about helping you delight your dog and helping you know what's in your products. So here are the Delightfully Daisy products. All of our treats are peanut butter flavored. They're made with peanut butter, wheat flour, water, and oats. 4 simple ingredients that you can pull off the grocery store shelf yourself. Our most popular product on the left is the single bone treat. It's a 1-ounce peanut butter treat. It's single, it's wrapped in shrink wrap, so it's this perfect little package. It's a single serve, you can put it in your pocket, you can ship it in the mail. The Sing-A-Bone treat is just this perfect little treat for your pet. And then we have the 5-ounce bag of treats, also peanut butter flavored. In each bag is a signature Delightfully Daisy cookie. And then there's about 40 small fire hydrant pieces that you can't see that are behind the daisy. So again, extending that dimension of playfulness, whimsy, and fun in the products. We also have the specialty treat line of Delightfully Daisy products, and these have the popping peanut butter is the base treat, and then on top of that are carob and yogurt coatings. Now, all Delightfully Daisy products, they're made of 100% human-grade ingredients, and they're free of added byproducts and synthetic food colorings. So the colors that you're seeing on the treats, they're not artificial colors that have come off the store shelves. They're natural, and so you're not feeding your dog anything that you wouldn't want to take in yourself. Now, the Happy Birthday Bone is the newest addition to the Delightfully Daisy line, and it's the largest treat that Delightfully Daisy's ever produced at 7 ounces, so it's almost half a pound worth of dog treat there. And it can be fully customized, so happy birthday, whatever the dog's name is, if there needs to be little squiggly marks or dots or whatever needs to be put on that bone can be put on that bone. So we have all of these great products. So how do we get them to our customers? And the first way is at delightfullydaisy.com. So available 24/7. You can hop on your iPhone or your Android right now and get on our website. So the products are there at Delightfully Daisy for people to order, and we'll ship them out to them. Delightfully Daisy, we also do lots of street festivals, shows, events, conventions. And to find out if we're going to be somewhere near you, you can go to our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Delightfully Daisy. In Delightfully Daisy, we also work with 4 of our wholesale partners, Wagons Pet Supply, Leatherwood Mountains, Paul House Pet Spa, and Linwood Kennels, and they help us really get the treats out into the community. So the Delightfully Daisy business model is a model that works, and it's time to really scale the business from being kind of a regional business to something much larger. And to do this, Delightfully Daisy needs to expand our manufacturing facilities and to obtain UPC coating so we can get our products into larger and medium-sized retailers. So that was a little bit about Delightfully Daisy, and I hope you guys have a delightful day.
You got the tough part. Thank you, Jonathan. What he didn't say, I don't think he did, is that in addition to running and growing and all the challenges of developing his company, he's also a graduate student at Wake Forest University. So my hat's off to you. Okay. The challenge is to pick the best of those 9 ventures. From the standpoint of viability, excitement, innovation, creativity, which one, in your opinion, has the best chance of producing a high-growth company for this region of North Carolina? And I'll let you reflect on that, and then I'm going to ask some assistants to come down and collect those from you. You can pass them down to the end of the row. Maybe they can pass them to the center rows. And Mr. Hicks will be on the far side, Ms. Lindsay on this side. Then we're going to take about a 15-minute break while the judges tabulate the votes. We have refreshments. David Washburn, don't leave. I need to see you just a moment if I could, please. We have refreshments just outside the door and to the right. And you'll have a chance to network and ask questions of these entrepreneurs. 15 minutes, we will return. Okay, folks, if I could have your attention, we'll get started back. Have we rounded up everyone, Danny? Got a special treat, and I surprised him with this, so he didn't come in expecting this tonight, but it's not the first time I've surprised him, and he responds quite well. I'd like to ask David Washko to come up and share a little bit. David is the founder CEO of GoPriceDrive.com, among other businesses. But he's last year's first place winner. And David, shortly after he was announced as the winner, within a week or so, he called Danny Hearn and said, Danny, I want to be a sponsor of next year's competition. Now, this is a guy that's still trying to build and launch the enterprise. And he's a great ambassador for entrepreneurship and for the Edison project. So I'd like to invite Dave Washko.
It's an honor to be here in front of all of you today. I was telling some people earlier, I'm glad it wasn't me here today with my knees quaking like it was a year ago. So congratulations to all of you. You've done a fantastic job. For those of you who didn't actually get to go through this process, it's almost too difficult to explain the kind of work and hours that these people have gone through. And it's been, I'm sure, an incredibly valuable learning experience. The fantastic news about this is while there's 3 winners that will be granted some funds, all of the people who participated, all 9 of you, will truly feel like you are a winner when this process is over tonight and a year out from now. I did go to Danny and Bill last year after this evening ended a year ago and thank them for all the time and effort that the mentors put into this program. They put into this program, and I told them it was an incredible and valuable learning experience. The truth of the matter is this past year has been equally as valuable, if not more, of a learning experience after going through this program. I would probably have to tell you that, they say all sunny days make for a desert, and that's true. There's going to be ups and downs. You're going to learn the most in those down periods, and probably even more valuable, the holding patterns. You've already probably gone through the process of realizing this does not move nearly as quickly as any of us would like or have anticipated. So I do want to congratulate all of you again. The Edison project is a phenomenal project, a great brainchild program for our area, and it's been a true honor to be part of it, and I am looking forward to announcing GoPriceDrive.com going live here very shortly. So again, thanks to all of you, and thank you Danny and Bill for all your work, and especially all the mentors and the time that they put into this. I appreciate it.
I'm not musically talented. If I could ask Commissioner Barnes to join me on the stage, please. And Commissioner Barnes is going to, the chairman, Madam Chair, is going to announce the winners, beginning with 3rd place, and we will be presenting the checks.
I kind of feel like this is a beauty contest. More than that. Everyone did such a phenomenal job. This was really, I attended last year, and today's presentations went up a little notch, so the competition will even be greater next year. Our 3rd place winner for this year's Edison project is Opportunity Threads, Molly Hemstreet. This is a small check.
One more, please.
Congratulations. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words to the audience?
Sure. I guess I just really appreciate the support that you all have given, even before this process. I think the support that particularly the SBTDC, I've learned how to get all those letters in there. I'm deeply appreciative of that. So I completely understand when you were speaking about this being a process that continues. So I think we're excited about this process continuing, and we look forward to sewing lots of these lovely, organically, locally made products. So maybe we can now get your new sewing machine, Jill. We're talking about that.
And our second place is Tension Technologies, James Tate.
He's wearing his election year tie.
Well, now we need the drum roll, and that's for number one. First place goes to Tileware Products.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, what an incredible process. And the kindness that was expressed through the organization, through SBDC, and through Danny, and my coach, my personal coach, has been extraordinary. And we really believe that this is the stuff that makes a community. The leadership that impacts the lives of people, and energy that brings about great development. I do want to thank my partner, Mike Friedel and his wife, and the Beards for their contribution to our business. We couldn't have done it without those people. And most importantly, I want to thank Christ Jesus for representing himself in my life, and my life partner, my wife Kimberly, who has been there all the way through this process, helping me, engaging me, and helping me, all the editing, hundreds of words that have to be edited. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Blessings to you.
I think you heard Mr. Washko say that we only had 3 up here on the stage, but all of the participants are winners, and none of them in the process tonight. They have forged friendships and commitments with their mentors, with the entire team, and with the other resources that are represented here, and some resources that they haven't even met yet. That's what this is about. Some say that a rising tide raises all boats. It's been popular for many years. I happen not to believe that. I believe that a rising tide will raise all seaworthy boats. And it's that entrepreneur's challenge and responsibility to make sure that their boat is seaworthy when the tide does come in. So with that, my hat's off, my gratitude, my appreciation, and my admiration for those entrepreneurs, all 9 of the finalists, and great luck and benefit as you're rolling out your company. I'm going to take great pride and joy in seeing it as it grows and launches and takes flight. I thank you, the audience. I thank our sponsors who made this program possible. I again thank Danny Hearn and Mike, Chairman Mike, for their steadfast support of the Edison project. And I hope you share my excitement and enthusiasm as we've seen these presentations and these entrepreneurs tonight. Thank you very much, and drive safely going home. Oh, and if I could get the 3 winners back up here for